Buenos Dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it like a smack addict. And as you can tell by today's thumbnail, yes, indeed, I wrote graffiti all over the motherfucking bus. And in Menudo Steiner direct fashion, the gun wants to talk about Watson. The city of Watson, Watsonville, for those of you that know, and for those of you that don't, well, I'm going to let you know what's up right now. Watsonville, I wouldn't necessarily say is a stronghold in Northern California, but I would say it's damn near the one, right? Just like Salas, there's some well-seasoned, well-acclimated individuals, Nortenos, as well as Surenos that come from that one city. Not a very small city located, in Northern California, but I will tell you this, the vatos that have come out of there, numerous, are fucking hitters, straight up, they've been involved in a lot of gang activities. There's a whole lot of gang shit going on over there in the city of Watson, and I've spoke with a lot of authors from Watson who have told me, what about our city? What about us? Hey, trip out. I'm going to tell you what about you right now. You motherfuckers is in real life, some real shit, right? So Trip, I kind of wanted to go behind the scenes and tell this one and put a slideshow just so you can see the type of characters that are there, man. These vatos are the type of individuals that you see walking around Watson. Very, very, very gang orientated, For some reason, me chilling over there in Watson with the homeboys from City Hall at one point, and that's a Varrio out there, I seen that the gangs were just fucking numerous in numbers. There was hoods damn near on every street, and some of the Varrios that I had the privilege of running into, myself as far as Nortenos was CMLs, which are the Clifford Manor locals, City Hall, Varrio City Hall, probably one of the oldest neighborhoods out of Watson, Northside Watson. You had Varrio Green Valley, Landis, Carnation, and just several other Varrios, man. Like I said, they're very numerous. And let's not forget about the Sureño Varrios that are out there, because there are a very old established Varrio called Portside Watson. And I think there's the Mexican side locals or something of that nature. As they are not numerous, there are some Sureño gangs that have been established for very long and have held their own. Their flag was put, Salsky, we're right here. Don't, and they're doing their thing. But the city of Watson, known for its strawberry fields, not very big. Not very big, and a city in the middle of nowhere where you would think that, it's located right down the street from Santa Cruz. So it's in that county, that area. You would think that ain't too much going on right there, but quietly as it's kept, there have been some serious hitters out of there. Everybody knows of one Mr. Baby Joker, and if you haven't heard his name before or known the history about him, he's in several books. He was an NF member, regiment commander there for the regiment of Watson for a few years, and basically is well known through the history of the NF. He was doing his thing. He recently was hit a couple years back due to his allegiance and his loyalty to the federal faction. The state faction felt that if for no other reason they couldn't trust this individual, and felt that he was going to make his next move his best move and hit them. And so they got off on him first, and they removed him off the yard, and they didn't just remove him like that. I mean, he was hit several times. So that's the caliber of the individual, coming out of Watson, is that they knew that this vato was a very dangerous, treacherous individual, so they had to get rid of him, And he ran it like with an iron fist when he was out there running the regiment. I've done time with this individual way back in Fred Cinellas back in the days. And, he was just like your everyday homeboy. He was always with the business, always a little political. I knew he would grow up to be somebody. And, in fact, that's what happened. He did. Watson, bang, bang, boop, boop. It is what it is. Baby Joker. Wanted for several murders, been involved, they say, in several murders, or been accused, for which I can't speak on because I don't know. But I will say this. He did get caught up. He's doing life. And he is on the other side now, just based on of his loyalty to the feds, put him in that predicament. And that's a whole nother animal, man, that we'll talk about later. But the city of Watson have produced vatos like him, vatos like Tigre. And I told Tigre's story before, on my last channel. Tigre, who is still a righteous individual functioning under the state faction as a carnal, he, for the NF, his case involved regiment business. His case involved, doing what he did, doing his due diligence and doing what he was doing for the cause. And, he got caught up in a murder for which they say he shot an individual in a truck while it was moving. and him and another vato who told on him, both got incarcerated for which fucking Tigre is doing a long time. But a very well known individual also with an extensive family out there in Watson who's a known hitter, you know. And I don't like to put too much on it, man, but I keep it real. Real recognizes real. The way the gun is, I'm just gonna fucking keep it solid, you know. Vatos out there in Watson are really wiggling. They're really doing it, you know. Watson is like a smaller Salas. You go into Salas and you see individuals with Norte blasted all over their face, their heads, their Varrios, four dots, red paños everywhere. You know that when you go to that city, that's a Norteño stronghold. As far as Salas, and it's pretty much the same over there in Watson, just a little bit smaller. But you see Norteños numerous everywhere. The Varrios, they're really about that Bangladesh shit, and that's what it is. And quietly as it's kept, the Surenos on the other side are doing their thing too. Um, I've been incarcerated with some of the poor side Sureños de Watson, and I could say, man, they have Watsonville blasted across their mascaras, across their stomach, poor side Watson on their neck. Just very, very well seasoned individuals that are with their program, man, and represent their city to the utmost. Never once when I met a poor side Sureño did he say he was an upstate Sureño. He was just like, I'm a South Sider, homie. That's what it is. You know what I mean? From Watson, I was like, and in that fashion, you know what I mean? Do your thing. But I will say this, the first time I ever met a vato from Watson was in CYA, and it was a homeboy, Lonely Boy from City Hall. And I remember he was a very quiet individual, well bred, well laced, as laced as you can be coming in CYA. It wasn't like motherfuckers were going from Folsom to YA. They were going from YA to Folsom, and in that fashion, many of us did. But he was just well mannered, man, very quiet, soft spoken, didn't say much, but dealt with it with his fucking hands, had hands, and told me a little bit about Watson. It was like, hey, it's not a big city, homie, but we hold it down. Our flags are planted. We've been doing this shit since the 60s, 70s, and our Varrios, we put in the work. And I said, yeah, man, I understand. And you have to understand that Watson is located 10 minutes away from Santa Cruz. And for any Norteños that know, or anybody that knows, and if you don't, I'm going to give you the game right now. For some reason, Santa Cruz has been flooded with Sureños since the early 80s. It's just been like that, bro. Now, there are some Norteño Varrios, just a few. And I couldn't name them right now. That's how few they are. But I could tell you right now, them Sureños have always been deep. And a quick story about Santa Cruz, the city of Santa Cruz, is me and my homeboys, we used to wiggle out of Merced. We used to wiggle. Ain't shit to do in Merced, so we used to go hit Fresno up, go hit Modesto, go hit San Juan, go cruising. Of course, everybody hits the city, San Fran. We used to hit that City Lights club out there and do it really wiggle. The wigglization was way motherfucking real out in Frisco. Hit that Mission District, go eat, Excelsior, go trip out with the homeboys over there. Basically, man, we would hit that Yay area, or we would hit wherever else in Califas and do it moving. We did hit Los, we did hit San Diego. So, I mean, hey, we weren't privy to just hitting fucking north there. We go down south and do our thing too. Now, of course, man, we watched our wiggle when we were down there. But anyways, we found ourselves in Santa Cruz, going to that beach boardwalk. And it seemed like every time we went there, bro, we couldn't last there within the hour, bro. Vatos were on the boardwalk. There were so many Sureños walking around the boardwalk. They'd spot us. You could tell the difference. We'd spot them and was fucking on and cracking. It was a melee bound to happen every time. And I remember one time I went with about 4 of my homeboys. We were 2 carloads deep, in fact. But the 4 homeboys, some hyenas, and a couple other associates of ours, we all went. And I remember we went in the homeboys 64 Impala, clean cherry red 64 Impala sitting on gold ones. We thought we were doing big things. We were trying to clown back in them days. That's when everybody was riding on gold D's or Zeniths. And we get there, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, we pulled up smooth, hitting 3-wheel motion. We left fucking barely with 3 wheels on that motherfucker. These Sureños let us have it AK-47 style. We had to leave the car, take off running, go get it out the impound. There was holes in it. There was a lot of questions asked. We weren't answering them. It was just an ugly situation. And I'll tell you right now, I'm lucky I'm still here to fucking be Gunners Collective, because that day I was going to be AK-47 collected. The motherfuckers was letting it off, right? So I will say that Santa Cruz, man, has had an extensive history of doing their motherfucking thing. They've been wiggling. And the Sureños there are deep. Like I said, I don't know how they established there, just like the city of Richmond, man. There's just some pockets where Mexicanos moved in, Sureños established, and it is what it is. Norteños got pushed out or pushed themselves out. Irregardless of the fact, that's just the way it is, and I keep it real. I ain't mad. I ain't glad. I'm just keeping it real. But I will tell you this. So the city of Watson being located just about 5 to 10 minutes away from Santa Cruz, man, they be out there headhunting. It's just like any other northern city. You know what I mean? They're gonna go out there and try to clap at the enemigas, and righteously so, the enemigas are gonna try to clap back. But not only do they have to deal with Santa Cruz, like I said, it was almost exclusively Surenos, besides the couple Varrios and Northerners that are in pockets. They also have to deal with Sureños within their city. You know, like I said, the poor side Sureños that have been around, and the Mexican Barrio Locos or whatever the fuck they call themselves. They're there too, chilling. And, Watson has just been going at it. There's several murders, and the murder rate is crazy compared to bigger cities like San Jose, San Francisco, Oakland, where, you get maybe 3 murders a week. These vatos are at 2 a week in a city not even fucking a tenth of the size. So just trip out on that and think about that. Almost 95% of the population in Watson are migrant workers or raza. So you have a lot of second and third generation Chicanos, Mexican Americans born in the United States and California, that are stuck in the gang mentality. They're stuck in that don't. This is for the not the raza. This is for the northern raza, and they're doing their thing. And vice versa. Like I said, the Surenos out there on some wigglization too. So they're going body for body, tit for tat, tic tac for bad breath. Whatever the case may be, man, the yin and the yang is happening. Peanut butter con jelly. They're going back and forth. But every homeboy, and look, and I know I sit here and I talk about a lot of spills about a lot of autos from a lot of different cities, and I always say that I've met the real. And you know what? And for the most part, I have. When I'm incarcerated, I only have the real around me. The real fake are already whacked or gone. So for the most part, man, you're only going to see real soldados or happen to meet and talk to real soldados because the circle was so tight. So when I say, man, I've only met real motherfuckers from a certain city, that's all I fucking had the privilege of meeting, because that's all I would be around anyways. But the vatos from Watson, like I said, were always, with the business. And I said, man, they got some well-known figures, in that city. Like I said, Baby Joker, Tigre, and there was several others, man. I'm not going to just give them all the clout and say that they're the ones that were doing it, man, but they're very well-known for doing it. And even Baby Joker being on the other side, man, he's not an individual you want to cross, being from that city of Watson. That I fucking guarantee, Like I said, man, he has several under his belt, and has been suspected of several more, for which I won't speak on, but I would just say that he's not the one to wiggle on, period. Quietly as is kept, the motherfucker's down for his cause, whatever that may be now. But the city of Watson, like I said, these Varrios, being a small city, to have this many Varrios in that size of a city is a trip. You would think everybody would be with the business like one Livingston, California, Livas. It's one Varrio, one heartbeat, one struggle, one movement. But Watson's a little different, for whatever the case may be. And there's been a lot of red on red that's happened in that city too, which is a trip because, with Sureños being right there, you would, and in the surrounding areas being a lot of Sureños, you would think that would be, the fucking obvious choice to go out there and bang with. But it's not always the case. For the most part, man, I don't know if it's the hate, the envy, the trip, the individualism, the homeboy favoritism, or whatever the fucking case it may be. Varrios all wanting to be the top dog. They're going at it over there in Watsonville, Motherfucking the red on red is real. And now what they're starting to have established in Watsonville from a couple homeboys I talked to that are still active and with that business out there is you're having a lot of northern riders move in. There's a lot of northern riders that are starting to establish out there in the city of Watsonville. So much so that they got their own pod in the county jail, which is a northern rider pod. So them riders and all the motherfucking dropout gangs or whatever you want to call them, they're not exclusively to Sacramento, San Francisco, these big cities, man. These motherfuckers are out there in them little towns trying to wiggle and establish strongholds. Of course, I don't think the active Nortenos are going to let that fly or happen for too long. But hey, sometimes they can't fight the feeling. You can't fight the feeling. And vatos are just gonna move in. They're gonna get in where they fit in. And if they don't fit, so I was scared like a palo to a, you're gonna make it fit. And that's what's happening. Anyways, like I said, man, back to YA and back to the homeboy Lonely Boys and Baby Joker. These were the first two individuals I ran into out of the city of Watsonville. And me being from Merced, California, a small city also located in the Central Valley, I didn't know anything about the city of Watsonville. I thought it was just a little farm town. I didn't know there was homeboys out there. So when I met Lonely Boy, he was like, yeah, I'm from Watson, right? I was like, yeah, where's that at? And he's like, by Santa Cruz, whoop-de-whoop, whoppity-wop. And I was like, all right, that's what's up. And I thought that, whatever, these vatos ain't about nothing. Then when I met Baby Joker, he changed my mind into the veracity or the audacity of the way they got down. I just seen a little bit more of the political aspect and a little bit more of the eye of the tiger. Dun, 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 dun. The vato came in with that theme song. He was with the business. And it made me have a different kind of respect, the way they carried themselves and the way they wiggled. And then, of course, later on down the line, as I grew up and I started to know more of the northern cities and vatos that were really wiggling, then I understood. Because, quietly as it's kept, man, at the end of the day, not every city is up to par. Not every city functions the same. You got vatos that grow up differently. Some more are urban based. They say the word blood or the N word or cuz or, and it's just because of how they grew up. Does that make them any less of a norteño or a gangster than anyone else? Chale. And in some cases, they're with the business even more. But I'm just saying everybody is different. Watsonville traditionally, man, have been more of the Pachuco style, the Chicano style, and that's mainly because most of them are Mexicanos, you know. Um, like I said, second, third generation coming from migrant workers, man. They kept that flavor, that Cholo, Chicano, Los flavor, basically. If you want to keep it real, the East Los flavor. Um, Pretty much, Ben Davis's Dickies, white T-shirts. Oh my, I mean, my style. But like I said, man, in every city's different, man. You have some cities that are not up to par. You can go in their county jail. They're rocking chanclas, flip flops, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this, but it's different. Like I said, it's different, man. It's the makeup and the character and the DNA of the people. Whatever's in that water is whatever's in that fucking water. I know Merced County Jail, man, is so treacherous, man. If you got any type of dirt, I mean, motherfucking even believe that you fucking lied about something, you better not hit that block. Because once you hit that block, it's a rapalapagus. It's hat flatten time. It's game over. It's wackalization, and you're done. Pretty much, point blank, period. No one can save you in Merced County Jail. That's the way it is. And over there in Watson, they're pretty much with the business too. From every homeboy that I've met from there, they're pretty up to par, pretty down for their clown is what I'll say. And, they're well established. Even the Surenos I met from there, like I said, I met a couple of vatos from Port-side, and they were pretty much with the business too. Period. They just, like I said, they're not out there boasting and bragging, but they'll tell you straight up they're from Watson, and that's what the business is. But, so anyone that's never been to the city of Watsonville, I will say this, man, it's not a city that you want to go in there and establish anything or, there's really not a lot to do. It's a small city, like I said, located by Santa Cruz, really not much going on. And everyone that's there is probably generational or family orientated, It's all big families that make up the whole city. But they got a little bit of everything, though. Like I said, they got a little bit of everything. And they're with it, man. For the murder rate being as high as it is, for a city of that caliber, that nature, trips me out. But, there's a lot of these little cities now that are wiggling like that, They get their foot in the door, they get established, man, and they got this image to uphold, and they're going to let everybody know, man, that they're with it. Watsonville's been one of them. They're not a Johnny fucking come lately, you know what I mean? They've been getting their Johnny on for a long time, you know what I mean? And anyways, I just wanted to give the respect, the admiration, the love for the city of Watson and all the Varrios, whether it be north or south, because, hey, they deserve their righteous due, their righteous respect from the gun, and that's what they got coming. The city of Watson, plain and simple, period, man. Shout out to the homeboy Lonely Boy from City Hall, the homeboy Speedy from Clifford Manor Locals. I don't know if he's still around. That was an old school homeboy, back when that Vario first started. And shout out to all them vatos doing their thing. Baby Joker, BJ Tigre, you know what I mean? It's all love at the end of the day, whether you're active or non-active. None of that shit matters to me. The only thing that matters to me, man, is that you're good raza and good gente pushing forward in whatever you believe in. Your cause is other people's cause. May not be my cause, homie, but I'm a true believer in a vato that's rolling for his cause is a real one. And in that fashion. Anyways, I hope that you guys get whatever you want coming to you. I hope that you move fast with a purpose. That's called hustling. At the end of the day, remember, it's all about raza, whether it be north, south, east, west, bulldogs, Mare Salvatrucha, whatever the fuck you are, it doesn't matter to me. A paisita, man, if you're kicking on the corner selling fucking paletas, fuck, it's all good in the hood. You know what I mean? Get your groove on, get your money on. Hey, and if I could help, the gun will, because that's what I do. The wigglization is way real. If you like this spiel, man, like and subscribe. The pictures right there, some exclusive pictures of some real motherfuckers from Watson, and that's what I do. Look, it's so real. You hear placas in the area. Bang, bang, mo. This will be popping. And in that fashion, the gun. Bang, bang.